Hey guys.
Hi everyone.
My name's Luke and this is Matt. And welcome to today's dev stream. We are streaming today on the Steam front page as part of the Midweek Madness sale. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Bernina Pass route that has just been released for Train Simulator 2018.
I'm looking forward to this. I think it's one of the things I'm really pleased that Thomson have taken up the mantle of covering some of these Swiss routes. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful areas of the world. So this will be the third one, I think.
Yes, there was the previous one was the I had it written down there.
Albula.
The Albula line, wasn't
it?
Yes,
the Albula line was the last one. Right, before we go any further, how's the audio for everyone? Actually, I can see the microphone's peaking out badly there. Do you want to drop the volume?
Peaking out at the right, isn't it?
Drop that so that we're down to about a sort of low yellows, I guess. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. That's better. We're not Reading anymore. Loud. Loud.
I think someone else has been messing about with our audio settings a little bit.
It's pretty distorted, yeah. Hopefully that's better. We're not peaking anymore. How's the game audio? Is that coming through okay? Not getting any audio from there.
Doesn't look like it's doing
you haven't unmuted the game audio.
Oh, yeah, that's the point. Right, there we go.
Good. That's really quiet. Excellent. That's a nice balance then, really. Not. Try pumping the volume of the game audio off of it. Oh, of course.
We can't really hear much anyway.
No.
Okay,
We'll do that once we get going.
You just blew Dex Vinyl's ears off. Oh well.
Matt's clugging. Clugging?
Clugging?
What's clugging? I'm not Dutch. Oh no, wait, that's something else.
Oh, clagging.
Clagging?
That's something entirely different from clugging, isn't it? Right, so what are we going to look at? We're going to have a look at the tutorial scenario, I think.
So let's just have a quick look at, I think before we get into this thing, it would be nice to actually explain a little bit of what the Bernina Pass is. If I knew more about what the Bernina Pass was, that would be much easier.
Well, the Bernina Pass is a Alpine route through the Swiss Alps. Lots of mountain vistas and things like that. It starts off at a couple of stations that we see in the Albula line.
Okay.
So,
well, I guess let's get into the tutorial and we can cover it off, because I think the tutorial is going to give us a bit more of an idea of the route as well as the train.
Yes, indeed.
As we go.
So, as you can see, there's a few career scenarios. We've got a couple of passenger mode ones down here, which look interesting, and 3 railfan ones up at the top as well. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at the tutorial. So, hit that button, and of course, as usual, the screenshot contest is on. The voting started today, so we'll be getting a new winner tomorrow at lunchtime.
Congratulations to Solar for this entry. I think this was this week's, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was this week's, wasn't it? Yeah, the station theme.
There's a difference between driver and passenger mode. So driver is normally as you drive. In passenger mode, it's kind of like you are sitting in the carriage and the train drives itself.
Right, so good afternoon. Let me explain the main controls of the Allegro ABE 8-12 operate. I will highlight each control as we look at them, and I'll set some controls to show you how they work. Essential that we read the PDF manual. Yes, the manual is on Steam, if anyone wants to read it. Right, so close the window to begin. So we've got the air brake and parking brake combined in this lever. The unit's air brakes are applied gradually as the lever is moved back towards the driver. The parking brakes or hand brakes are applied once the lever is moved back to the maximum position. This must always be done if stopped at a station before opening the passenger doors or while you are changing cabins. Alright, noted. Right, so, yeah, that one was the air brake, handbrake, and so we're now looking at this lever. The train brake lever controls the vacuum brakes for the coaches and wagons that can be hauled by the Allegro. You should apply a small amount of train brake when travelling down steep gradients and more if holding coaches and wagons to reduce the load on the Allegro's dynamic brakes. So that's that one there. Right. That's the reverser switch. Yep. Cruise control. Yes, I was having a look at this one earlier on. So cruise control. The Allegro is equipped with automatic speed control. The desired maximum speed for the line ahead should be selected using the VSOL lever, VSOL lever. And this will be indicated by the moving orange triangle on the speedometer. It's that one there. I don't think it's orange really, but okay. Speed selection can be made in 5 km/h increments up to, from 5 to 100 km/h. There is also an additional selection of 33 km/h provided especially for the Arosa line. This system makes use of the power provided by the driver's throttle selection and cannot exceed this level. The driver must gradually increase the throttle when starting to move the train. If the Allegro is holding coaches and wagons, then the power of the throttle will be need to be higher than normal.
Apologies.
The system controls the Allegro's electric dynamic brake to maintain speed and slow the train down. The dynamic brake becomes less effective at lower speeds, so the driver needs to apply the air brake and finally the parking brake when coming to a stop. When holding coaches and wagons, the driver must also supplement and balance the system by manually applying the train vacuum brake. Whew, okay. So, yeah, it's doing it itself. Okay. That's how you set it to 10. Combined throttle brake lever is divided into 2 zones, throttle level and dynamic brake effort. The throttle zone controls how much power is provided to the cruise control system. The dynamic brake zone can override the cruise control system to manually slow the train down to a slower speed than the SVOL selection if required. Headlights. 2 red lights, 1 white light for shunting operations, 3 white lights for normal forward running, 3 red lights to indicate stop for trains and shunting operations on parallel tracks. Yep, okay. So that's headlight right there. You are alerted by the ZSI safety system when you pass a distance signal displaying a warning. You must press one of the ZSI acknowledge buttons immediately, otherwise the emergency brakes will be applied automatically. So, their version of the AWS then.
This is all very similar to the systems that have been in the previous Swiss routes. So if you've used Albula, then this is going to be very familiar. I think it's the same train or a variation on the train that was in Albula anyway. That was another Allegro.
Passenger information console that allows you to select a route for this journey and controls the internal and external train displays to show the chosen destination. So it's that screen there. Please refer to the manual for full details. Right. It's now my turn to take control of the train. Yay! What can possibly go wrong? From here to Albula, where the next trainee driver will continue the journey. That'll be you then.
Another time.
You'll practice making passenger stops at Cadera and Cavaglia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those right, but I'm sure people will tell us.
It's no better than I would pronounce them.
Press the G key on the keyboard to change the manual junction ahead, then press the Tab key to request permission to depart the depot. Check the signal ahead, and if it is clear for departure, then you can release the parking air brake and then gradually increase the throttle level to the SVOL lever. Okay. Alright, so G to switch the points. Okay. Tab. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we're already there, brakes are off. So I believe the brakes are off. Those ones aren't they? Right, so because our cruise control is set at 10, that's going to hover at about 9.4.
822 Steam. It's interesting that you should mention that. That segues into a topic we need to talk to everyone about. He says, are there going to be any updates to fix the crashing issues and bugs on West Somerset Railway on TSW PS4? At the moment, scenarios are impossible to play.
That is a very, very good question. A patch was released today, just a few hours ago. So players on PS4 will receive the patch as soon as they log in, and should be able to play WSR without any crashing. So very good news there for PS4 players.
Yeah, let your PS4 update and should be good to go.
Speaking of good to go, I think we can accelerate to 30 now. A little bit more throttle.
Cool guys, so the West Somerset, the patch that's been fixed on PS4 is fixes a crash issue that's unique to the PS4 version. So Xbox users don't need that fix. So you're not missing out. Yeah, I don't know why the microphone's distorted. Can we lower the volume down a bit more? Let's see where that one looks. So we're midway through the yellow now. We're not peaking anymore, so I don't know why it's distorting.
Yeah, but it's still showing when we're not saying anything. Is it crackling when we're not saying anything? I think I might have brought the curse from my own home mic into this.
Not crackling apparently. No, this is a decent microphone, make it with Calvin, so I've no idea why. There was another team in here doing some other streaming the other day, so I wonder whether or not some changes were made for that stream that may have affected this. Testing 1, 2. No. Sounds like a bit of an echo.
Might be the room we're in.
Well, then it would have happened before, I would have thought. Mr. Rongston, met at the Order Common Open Day, had a chat about your lag issue, your input fixed the problem. Excellent, very glad to hear about it, Mr. Rongston. Will there be an audio update to support 384 kHz when using Sound Blaster 85 as running TS20 kit bad lagging? I've no idea. I don't think there's anything planned for that at the moment. If you've got a particular query about that, I would suggest that you drop a note on the Dovetail Live forum, Mr. Rongston, and with more information, and then someone can take a look at what that might mean. I'm not even sure what that might mean at the moment.
There's a lot of super elevation on this line.
Beautiful. Though,
very, very twisty.
Yes, Sage Fun, we use Restream.
Apparently this line, when you get really into the mountains, it really starts sort of hairpinning back on itself, zigzagging its way up and down the hills.
Is it worth looking a quick look at the map?
We can indeed. Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Holy moly.
Look at that. There's more of it going on up here as well. Another one there.
Two different paths there.
Yes, that's the end that owners of the Albula line will recognise. That's which station is that? Is that Beaver? Or is that?
St Moritz.
St Moritz.
Which is the bottom end of the line.
What do we have down at this end? And that is Porsievo. And we're somewhere in the middle. There you go, we're just about to come to the really twisty bit. Well, in fact, we need to slow down as well. Good thing I popped back right there.
Good evening, Peter White. Welcome to the stream. XR Centre, in the future, can we create our own map like on TS years ago? Hopefully we'll have some news along those lines shortly. Keep an eye on the usual Dovetail social media groups and Dovetail Live website, trainsimworld.com.
We're definitely going up.
Crikey, that's a long way down.
In fact, there's the bit of track that we were on just now.
God no, I've not actually seen. This is my first time looking at the Bernina Route, so I don't have a favourite bit yet. I'm looking forward to spending some quality time learning the line and exploring all of its interesting areas.
You can get to the other end of this tree line, that would be a spectacular view down there. Ah, but is there a end to the tree line?
Oh, you're at Worley, were you, Peter White? I think we're going to be at Worley this year again, so perhaps see you again. Binoculars to see down there. Dogs, no, there's no news on Xbox X upgrade yet. Gamborg on Twitch. I will really enjoy West Somerset on Xbox One. Great trains, beautiful scenery. Great job, guys. Thank you very much indeed, Gamborg. Glad you're really enjoying that.
Look at how steep that looks on there.
Wow.
It's getting very, very twisty as well. I'm not surprised the speed limit's only 30. That's 30 kilometres an hour as well.
That's what, 20 or 25, isn't it, miles per hour?
Roughly, yeah.
You're a ticket inspector on the West Somerset Railway, are you, Peter? Excellent. I was down there, actually. Last Monday, I think it was.
tracks look lovely on this route. I mean, they're proper 3D ones, aren't they?
Yeah. See you later, make it with Calvin.
Sort of start doing that when you're in the cab.
You do, don't you? Start tipping over. So when you fall off your chair, that's when you know you've probably been watching. It's probably time to go to bed at that point.
Right, well, we've got a station coming up. Do you think we're going to stop in time?
I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Not unless we fall off that bridge. Oh, blimey. It's really leaning over the edge there.
Yeah, we know, Amar. We're not sure what's going on with the audio.
Oh, hello. There's a train in front. Might have panicked a bit too much then.
I was like, this thing will stop on. Given the angle you're climbing.
It'll stop on its own. Yeah.
I find it really interesting how in Switzerland they use this combination of electric multiple units, passenger units, but they haul freight behind them. It's really interesting. It's very practical. If the train's going up there anyway, why not haul the freight with it?
Right, let's put the handbrake on. Is that the handbrake? Yep, there we go. And open the doors. Although we still seem to be rolling backwards. Well, I think I might have missed the platform bit actually. Might have been that bit there. And was it the air brake that turns into the handbrake? Yeah, that might have been it. Oh, never mind. Right. Let's apply a bit of power shower before we take the brakes off. Or we just roll backwards. Need to practice my hill starts apparently.
Yes. Power on before brakes off. We've got no plans to change the service mode on West Somerset at the moment, 82. Have you made a post on Dovetail Live to talk about what you're thinking there?
There's quite a lot of squealing around the bendy bits.
Yeah, I love the squeal around the corners.
It looks like we're going to be allowed to speed up a bit.
Briefly.
For a little while, yeah. There's the speed board.
Sage, the only plans announced at the moment are the 64-bit support.
Oh, too much. I went a little bit too early there, I lost 2 points. See how well it slows down on its own. Wow. Very quickly.
Continuing to wind our way up the hill. It goes on forever.
I'm just thinking the cruise control handle and the throttle take a little bit to get used to. Oh, imagine living in that house.
I'd be terrified.
Wouldn't be able to live there with vertigo, would you? That's almost doubling back on itself, that one. Well, it pretty much is. It's more than a 180.
Moggy says, can we get an AV check? Check, 1, 2, 3. I think we're still getting bad audio problems, but from the microphone. I'm assuming the game sounds okay. There it is, when I sit down in this room, the room just gets hot and I suddenly get tired.
Start putting the aircon on, I think.
That's not a bad shout. Can't open the door because there's people hoovering outside.
Right, looks like we've got another 5 kilometres an hour to the speed limit. And there it is. Wait until all the cars are passed and then speed up. Otherwise we'll lose another couple of points.
Spectacular, isn't it, MR?
Right, there's actually 2 notches there between the 30 and 35. There's another one for the 33.
That's because certainly on the Albula line there are 33 km/h speed limits.
So there we go, definitely confirmed there is a notch for it there. It said so earlier on in the tutorial. So. Dominus is saying the game's just a bunch of flange squeal. Well, there's quite a lot of twisty bits on this route. On that subject, here's some more. Need to slow down again. Let's bring it down to 30. There we go.
NYC 10303 on Mixer. No, this game isn't on Xbox One. This is just PC. This is Train Simulator 2018. There is Train Sim World, which is available on Xbox One.
And Johnny's saying, look at that 08 overhead line equipment as well. Great work from Thomson. Yes, and the pantograph is also going up and down, responding to the line. Look at that going down for the tunnel.
Probably going to get a ZSI indication now.
Yep. We did indeed. And another one. Do I need to press that every time it beeps?
No, it's reminding you.
Ah. We could have had a bit more speed, but the station's right there, so...
Yeah. Johnny 06. Does it work through script or markers on the route? If I recall correctly, and I'm prepared to be completely wrong here, but if I recall correctly, it's a marker on the route which is effectively acting like a signal and tells the approaching loco what animation level to put the how far away it is so that it can set the animation appropriately. It's something like that. Oh, that's interesting, Rob Puck. If anyone is having trouble with the Google Maps overlay in the route editor because their API key suddenly stopped working, he has a fix. You have to activate a Google Cloud account. Don't worry, you get $200 a month in free credit, which is a lot of map tiles. But no, it won't work with AI, Mike, no. You can't send messages to trains, to AI trains, unfortunately. They moved the APIs from the dev console onto Google Cloud Console to do consolidated billing across the lot. That makes a lot of sense, actually, Rob. I maybe tried to. I need to revise my tutorial on that.
Speeding.
OMG score.
Thought we were in a 40 zone. Oh well, fail.
Still got over 900. Try looking at this. Have you looked at the Google Cloud thing that Rob Putt's just been referring to, MR?
Where are we now? We are... coming up to more windy bits.
Coming up to more windy bits. Next passenger stop is 5.1 kilometres.
Also going back to a 30 zone.
Ziplex haven't got anything to announce yet on any updates to Heavy Haul. If anything is going to be announced, it will be announced on the official sites first.
Wow, look at that.
X-Chaos on Mixer, will we see more DLCs on Xbox One? So West Somerset's out now and Rosig North will be coming out shortly. After that, there'll be more, I'm sure of that. Really feel like you're right out here in the wilderness, don't you?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely in the middle of nowhere, winding your way down round between all these mountains. Finding that one path that will get you all the way.
And every now and again you just find a house.
Yeah.
It's just on its own in the middle of nowhere.
It's almost like off-gridders in Alaska.
Mm.
Except they're probably not off-grid, probably got like 1 terabit internet connection or something. Peter, both have you had a good day? Well, I've certainly had a busy day. A very busy day.
Oh.
My day has involved a combination of being in meetings and staring at spreadsheets. It's been delightful.
Been so busy admiring the countryside that I didn't even realise the speed limit went up.
That makes a change from the other way around.
Yep, indeed. Could have been worse, could have gone down and I wouldn't have noticed. Speaking of which, it's just about to go down right now.
That cruise control makes things a bit easy.
There's another tunnel. Where are we now? We're up here. So I've got a passing loop there.
ZSI now.
There it is. Oh, speed's gone up again. Oh, and down again.
Short-lived.
Wasn't marked on there. I guess I need to keep an eye out for the signs. Or it could be because we're under ZSI.
Possibly. Possibly. Should read a manual at some point, shouldn't we?
But learning how to do it first just spoils all the fun, surely.
Exactly. That's what I keep telling everybody. Don't steal my fun.
That signal looks green, I think. Is that our one or the other side?
The signal is covering both of you. So this next indicator that's coming up here with the down arrow on it says that that signal over there is for you as well.
Okay.
Mishi says yellow-green signal means 30 kilometers an hour. So yes.
Right, there we go then. Learn new things every day, don't we?
Oh, we're on BBC Points West at the moment.
Oh, is that live now, is it?
That's live now. Excellent. Check it out on iPlayer, folks. It'll be on there probably, I think usually it's up there within an hour after it finishes. Let me know how many seconds the section is, EC. Hey Ferromero, how you doing? And Ollie, how are you doing?
Right, while we're in another tunnel, where are we? We're right there. Just got 2 more hairpins before we get to our station.
It's actually really difficult to model scenes that require that much distance. It's really, really something to get something that looks as good as that. We will be having a chat about TS19 launch very shortly, Mishi, once we finish this scenario.
Absolutely blown away by this route. It's so pretty.
To be honest, it's very similar to Albula in sort of the quality level and the sort of the way the art has been done and how it represents the area is just spot on. It really is good. I mean, this is the first. It's the first time I've seen this. Thomson have done their usual really good job.
I'm fully expecting a few screenshots from this to appear in next week's screenshot contest.
We need a theme of mountains or something.
Well, mountains was on the scribble sheet with suggestions on it, so
There you go.
it could well pop up next week. Well, tomorrow, in fact. Tomorrow's the next one starting. Oh,
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
paying attention, yeah. Looks like that's where we need to stop right there.
All those tracks are really close together.
They do, don't they?
Because if we haven't got room to run them, we'll squeeze them in. We can't make the mountainside any bigger.
Right, we should slow down a bit, shouldn't we?
I'm planning on stopping.
Actually, just taking the throttle off and it stops itself. We should be stopping just before the next signal in the siding there, in fact. Oh, wrong button. Turn the cab light on. Alright, just about there, I'd say. Let's put the handbrake on. There we go. Wow.
A little railway perched on a mountainside, 1,000,000 miles up from where we started.
That is spectacular. What a route.
Can you imagine the journey though from across the Albula and all the way onto this? So that's going to be possible, isn't it?
That is going to be possible. Yes. There's going to be a workshop route released. It's not out yet, but it will be. It's on its way to the workshop. So people who currently have the Albula route will be able to connect it up with Bernina Pass.
Wow, so if you had to join the two routes up and then run the entire line, that would be quite impressive. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. But speaking of workshop, how is workshop doing these days?
Well, we had a bit of interesting news today. The workshop for Train Simulator 2018 hit 20,000 items today. So 20,000 items on the workshop. That is amazing, isn't it?
Well done, everybody. Keep up the huge work. Some of the content, if you haven't looked at workshop for any reason, then you need to go and look at workshop. There's some really amazing content on Steam Workshop for Train Sim 2018. So yeah, do. And big credit to all the great authors and creators out there who are creating routes and scenarios and sharing them with everybody on there. So, you know, it wouldn't be what it is without what you're doing. So big thank you.
And also, of course, if you're interested in getting that workshop route to connect these two routes together, but you don't have the Albula route, the Albula line, that is currently in the Midweek Madness sale on Steam. It's 40% off right now.
40% off. Okay, that's good. What if you don't have TS18 at all?
If you don't have TS18 at all, the base, the core package for TS18 is currently 65% off. That's also in the Midweek Madness sale.
So this is a really great time to dip your toes in and have a play with TS18, isn't it? Yeah, this particularly if you like the Swiss railways.
Yeah, it's also a good time to get into Train Sim World on PC as well, because that is also part of the Midweek Madness sale, and Train Sim World is currently 30% off. That's both the standard and deluxe editions.
Wow.
So,
there you go, folks. That's on PC, the Midweek Madness sale, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. There you go, folks. Right, before we move on to the next thing, do we want to talk about the big news that came out this week?
Would that be the Train Sim 2019?
I think let's talk Train Sim 2019.
Yes, so we did have a big announcement yesterday on the content that's coming with the base package for Train Simulator 2019, which also now has a release date as well.
We have a release date, folks.
We have a release date for Train Simulator 2019.
Number one question since the announcement of 64-bit.
Yep, the number one question, when's it coming? It is now coming on October the 11th. That's the day. So that's the day that everyone's been asking for.
And the number two question is, what else is in it?
What else is in it? Well, the Americans among you guys will be happy to hear that Soldier Summit is going to be part of the base package, as is Salt Lake City.
So that's the route and the extension.
That is the route and the extension. They are both part of Train Simulator 19 core package. For the Germans, we have the Rhine Railway, Mannheim to Karlsruhe, and Frankfurt High Speed.
So again, you're getting the long join route.
You're getting the long join routes together. And also we are getting the Portsmouth Direct Line, the extended route, so that's the Portsmouth to London Waterloo route. That is going to be part of the base package as well.
That's incredible. That's like 6 route packages, really.
Yeah, what a brilliant bunch of routes to pick for it. Really good.
So that's Soldier Summit with Salt Lake City extension, Rhine Railway with the Frankfurt High Speed extension, and the Portsmouth Direct Line, including the Waterloo extension. So, and that's all coming out on October the 11th. And of course, the other headline, the main core improvement coming in with TS 2019 is that it'll be 64-bit.
Yes.
Happy days.
64-bit, it's coming at last. Right, so shall we move on now? Let's take a look at another route that we're going to be playing tonight.
Absolutely. Do you want to switch before you change that?
We can indeed, yeah.
Change the... we'll be back in a second.
Mute the mic as well. Right, and we're back again. So,
welcome back, folks. Mishi, will 64-bit improve my frame rate? So I think the safest answer I'm going to give you to that is no. 64-bit is about giving the game access to all of your memory. So whereas a 32-bit application is fundamentally limited only to accessing 3.5, 4 gigabytes of memory, whereas 64-bit can access all of it. Because it's 64-bit instead of 32-bit, it can have bigger numbers, which means it can talk to a bigger number of addresses as well. So what it means is you're going to have more trains, more detailed routes, all that kind of thing.
Traffic, more AI traffic, and
exactly, more AI traffic and all sorts of things. But more frame rate, that is actually dependent on your hardware. I think whether you may see an improvement, you shouldn't see it go down. You may see a small improvement, you may see a bigger improvement, but all I'm going to promise you is that it's there to improve the memory utilization. It's not there to improve frame rate. It won't change physics, it won't change. There's a lot of things it doesn't touch. It won't change the graphics, it won't change the dispatcher. It's just there to improve the memory, which is a huge thing. Particularly if you make use of a lot of the content on Steam Workshop, you may have found you're dropping that scenery quality setting right down so that you can avoid getting the crash dump error because someone's put tons and tons of stuff in their route, in their scenario. Whereas now you're good to go. You can turn your settings all the way up, and it'll be amazing.
All right, so we are having a look at the North Wales Coastal Route, which is going to become a DLC on its own after Train Simulator 2019 is launched. So this is currently part of the base package of Train Simulator 2018.
Yep.
And like I said, it's not currently an independent DLC just yet, but it will be once 19 launches. So we are driving the Super Voyager, and we are taking the 1 Alpha 23 from Holyhead to London Euston. We are starting at Llandudno Junction, and we're going as far as Chester. So we need to let the passengers on first.
Ferromero, no, I didn't see a question. Can you re-ask it?
Let's get those headlines.
One question someone asked me the other night, actually, and it's worth mentioning on here. They said they've only got 4 gigs of memory. What would 64-bit mean for them? And my recommendation there is stick with 32-bit. If you've only got 4 gig of memory, then you're not really going to see any advantage to going to 64-bit. One of the downsides that you'll see is that 64-bit, because all the numbers effectively take up twice as much memory, you may actually find you get access to a bit less memory. So if you've got 4 gigabytes of memory, then A, congratulations, how are you even booting your machine? But also, stick with the 32-bit. That's 32-bit is basically if you're up to 4 gigabytes. Beyond 4 gigabytes, then you'll see a benefit from 64 gig. Oh, so I think Ferromero's question was about if you own Train Simulator already, what do you need to do to get the 64-bit? It's free. It'll be part of the core upgrades. We've always put the core upgrades out as part of a free update, and then the paid upgrade is for the content. So if you don't have to pay anything, Ferromero, that's correct. You pay for the route, effectively paying if you want the routes.
Yeah. Lost a couple of points there. Very, very foggy, snowy day that we're having right there.
It's cooled down nicely in here now.
It's the snow on the screen that's doing it.
That's what it is. It's just psychological. GoldenEye Mixer says 64-bit should improve loading of tiles slightly faster.
Speaking again.
Possibly. I guess we'll find out.
We need to pay more attention to the speedo. Lost a few more points there, and that's my phone.
Danger Mouse!
Professional as always.
We'll ignore that minor copyright violation.
Oh dear, professional as always.
The easiest thing to do, if you're having problems with tile loading, I definitely recommend getting an SSD for Train Sim 2018 and 2019. An SSD makes a huge difference to the overall performance of TS1. It's not usual for getting an SSD to make an appreciable difference to games, other than perhaps a little bit on the load times. But because of the way that the Train Sim loads data from the disk, an SSD makes a huge difference. And if you can get, if your system supports what they call the NVMe SSDs, the PCIe M2 SSDs, they were little ones that are like like a chocolate bar, and they plug in on the motherboard. Then they're significantly faster than standard SSDs.
I think I might have started a new meme with that phone going off, you know.
Well, which one is Danger Mouse and which one is Penfold, Moggy? Careful how you answer.
I'm Danger Mouse, we all know this.
Crazy Taff, did you enjoy Minehead the other weekend? I did, very much, Crazy Taff. In fact, I'm going to head back down there. They've got their Autumn Steam Gala coming up. I think it's next weekend, not this one coming, but the next weekend after. So I'm going to head down over there and meet up with some folks and enjoy steam engines. Penfold is the brains. There you go, Mr. Crogston.
It's not how I remember it.
Based on seniority and nothing else, apparently I'm Danger Mouse, according to Moggy. It means I get a cool car! It means I've got to live in a letterbox, though, so I'm not so actually sure about that.
If anything, based on superiority, you'd be Colonel K. I think I slowed down too much here. I'm at the edge of the platform and almost stopped.
Mishi, if you want to transfer TS18 onto an SSD, how can you do that? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, what I would do is go into Steam, you go into settings, you add a new library and point that library onto your SSD. And personally, I would probably just reinstall onto the SSD as a re-download. I believe, certainly you used to be able to copy or move all the content to the new folder. And then when you do a verify, it picks up that it's already there and resets it all up. But I know the last time I suggested that to someone, I found out that something had been changed in Steam and that didn't work anymore. Now I don't know if that's a bug they've subsequently fixed, but essentially the key bit is to add a new Steam library pointing to your SSD, and then install the game. When you install it, it pops up a box saying where do you want to install it, and it'll give you a list of all of your Steam library folders you've set up, and you can point it to the one on the SSD. Good evening, Katie. Whereabouts was that, Moggy? Where were we when you were a postman? Did you mention on stream at all? Maybe once or twice, Moggy?
Oh. Too slow at turning off the throttle. There we go. Right, so next off we're going to Abigaili?
That's a go via.
Let's go via.
Abigaili and Penzance.
Abigaili and Penzance.
This route is Llandudno to
Chester.
Chester. Oh, we're running the whole route. There you go. We started at Llandudno, we're on our way to Chester.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where we started right there. And I believe...
Yeah, isn't that Crewe?
yeah, that's Crewe. Yeah, Crewe sidings and things.
So we're going to Chester, so it's just somewhere
So
up there a little bit on the left. So we're doing about half the route.
Yeah, that's Chester there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, doing a bit more than half the route. Doing 3/4 of it, I'd say.
Don't forget the AWS, you made the local news. I saw it here. I need to, when I get home, I'm going to fire up iPlayer and go and have a look. It's really good to hear that it went out tonight, though. What did you think? Was it a good segment? I haven't seen it yet. Did I embarrass myself too badly? It's basically all I care about. Oh, the driver. He was the guy in the blue overalls, I think. Yeah, yeah. He did seem quite. He was. I spent a bit of time sort of showing him how to play, and he was learning how to drive the 47 in there. And yeah, he did. He did definitely come away saying he was quite impressed at the way that it worked. What was it we were on again? So it's BBC Points West, Eton. You can get it on iPlayer. If you just search for BBC Points West, I think it'll be up there. It was the show that was on at about 6:30. Yeah, I know the microphone's not set up, MC Joe. In fact, can you drop that down? Drop that down to about there. Right, how's the microphone looking now? It's now not even hitting the yellow. We're now comfortably in the green. Is that better?
So just coming up to Abigail and Penzarn.
Too quiet now, apparently. Alright, in that case, we'll turn it up to the map. I'll go to the middle one now, 30. That's it. Alright, we've turned it up a little bit more. We're now just coming into the yellow on the microphone now. Timeliness bonus.
Yay. Which I'm going to completely lose when I end up speeding at some point.
Yeah, I don't know why it's distorted. It's the same microphone we normally use. I think. Do me a favour, click on the settings. Click properties. Yeah, it's set to the siren. Let's cancel. So it is reading from. Yeah, it's reading from the microphone.
Oh, and I'm speeding again. Wrong.
No, this is a Razer siren. It's a good microphone. Oh, hang on. It is peaking out, even though we're only. You can see that because if you look at the peak bars on there, it is still actually peaking because it never goes above a certain thing. Yeah, so that is definitely still peaking. All we've done is turn down where the peak is.
Yeah, I think when the fishing team had their stream, they probably mucked about with some settings somewhere. Right, so in about 2.5 miles we're going to reach Rill. On a very, very wintry day. You know, it's either the aircon or it is the placebo effect of the snow on the screen. It's actually kind of feeling chilly in here now, isn't it?
It's the aircon. I'll turn it off. BMW double on mixer. Yes, this is a British route.
There's the AWS. Yep, this is the North Wales coastal route that we're playing at the moment. This route comes with the base package of Train Simulator 2018, which is currently in the Midweek Madness sale on Steam, so you can get it for 60% off. Sorry, 65% right off, isn't it? Yeah.
The trains in this country come to a standstill in the snow, not when you've got a man of this calibre driving. Basically, he just doesn't care and goes for it.
Yeah, in which case, they're lucky to stop at all.
Yeah, when you talk to the driver and they put air quotes around the word limit in the phrase speed limit, it's probably a train you shouldn't be riding on. Alright, we're coming to a stop at Rill. So if you haven't had a look on Steam yet, we have got the Midweek Madness sale on, so go and have a look and pick yourself up some bargains. Train Sim in 2018 is 65% off. If you're missing the routes from there, it's a good way to pick those routes up. It's a fabulous discount for 3 amazing routes. If you've already got Train Sim and you buy Train Sim 18, then it'll just add those routes onto your list. You don't get a separate entry or anything. Obviously there's a bunch of DLC on sale as well, including the Albula line, which is discounted 40% off, which is in sort of to go with the Bernina Pass releasing today. So if you haven't picked up Albula line, but you're interested in the Swiss Retispon Railways, then now's a really good time to get that one in your catalogue and your collection. There's, as Luke mentioned earlier on, there's going to be a workshop route released soon. I don't think there's a time scale on that yet, but hopefully soon, where it will actually link both those routes together, so you'll be able to ride the Albula and the Bernina as one route. Speed limit's a merely suggestion, exactly, Ed. They're just hints.
Speed limits are a thing that make me lose points.
And the Wakayama Sakurai, I have to say, I really enjoy driving that one. It's very interesting. The cab signalling is not too difficult, but it's the bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. It's interesting. The scenery is really nice, and the trains are different. I'm a big fan of that Wakayama line.
Oh, look at that, 90. We're really going to let it go for a moment, aren't we? I wonder how far that 90 zone goes to.
Rhythmic Canoe on Mixer. What is this game? This is Train Simulator 2018. Basically a driving trains simulator on PC. There is also Train Sim World, which is on PC, Xbox and Xbox One. PC, Xbox and PlayStation 4. But this is Train Sim 2018. It's only on PC. And yeah, driving trains all over the world. Today, in this scenario, we are driving a Class 2-1 Super Voyager on the North Wales coastline. GoldenEye, yes, I believe it'll be very similar to the same style of routes that Danny puts out on Steam Workshop, where he joins other routes together. Although it's not Danny that's doing the merge. I think it's Thomson that are actually doing the merge.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's 90, it definitely wants to do more. Although we can't do more because our station's coming up.
Prestatin. That's how you operate buttons, just for information.
Braking too soon again.
Further, does the train come with the route or is it not on? No, the Super Voyager comes with North Wales Coast, if I'm right.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does,
yep.
Yeah. Agent Chris, can you get routes in other countries? Yeah, there's. Let me see if I can remember some of them. So you've got England, you've got Scotland, Wales. You've got America. We've got France. We've got TGV in France. Germany, lots of routes in Germany. Switzerland, Austria, South Africa, China, Japan. Probably missed something, but you get the idea. Covers a fair old broad range.
Might have overrun this one slightly.
Canada, good shout, X Series Gamer. There's one route currently. Is it one route currently in Canada? I think it's one route.
You know what? I think that would do for a, a station stop.
It's not bad. Hey, Amaya Manami, how you doing? Dan Zavilla, geek much? Geek lot. Geek proud.
And where are we going next? We're going to Flint and then Chester, and that's it.
X-Series Gamer, did you miss anything? I don't know, when did you join? So we looked at the Bernina Pass. We talked about the TS19 information about the Soldiers Summit, Salt Lake City, Rhine Railway, Frankfurt High Speed and PDL Portsmouth London Waterloo that will be in the TS19 box. The release date of October the 11th, 64-bit being the other main headline for TS19. The Midweek Madness sale currently on at the moment, including TS18 for 65% off, and obviously a bunch of DLC. Great opportunity to get started or top up your collection there. And includes the Albula line, which is discounted at 40% off, which will be connected via a workshop route coming soon to the Bernina Pass, which is out today. So yeah, plenty there. There's also for Train Sim World on PlayStation 4. There is a patch been released today to fix an issue. PlayStation 4 owners on West Somerset were having a bit of a problem with the game crashing occasionally. So that has been patched today and should now be a good fix for everybody. So that's basically the news.
If you haven't played on the West Somerset on PC yet, that is also part of the Steam Midweek Madness sale. So
excellent.
Discount there on the West Somerset.
Flint, 13 miles.
I'll get a good run to that one.
So what's everyone's favourite train at the moment? What are you driving in the game most? Let's get some train names out here. What's your favourite train?
Class 37.
You're driving class. We already know that. Your middle name is Class 37.
Always driving the Class 37.
Anything on the next Train Sim World PC DLC? Nothing announced yet, I'm afraid, Mr. Longston. Rob Park driving the Pacer. Mr. Grongston Growler. Moggy Standard 5. I'm surprised it's not something nice Southern and Third Rail Moggy. That surprises me. EC says the Trains in World 09. X-Series Gamer, the HST. So lots of diesels on Twitch and Steam on Mixer is currently the way that we're trending. Lampain Crips, Class 73. Ayrton Pacer is a favourite train. 225 in TS, been driving a lot of recently. Ferromero, the SS64 in Train Sim World. Drove it a lot in TS1 and super hyped when it came to Train Sim World. I must admit, I was super hyped when we started building it for Train Sim World as well, because it is such a cool train, so modern and nice. Zaldora, the steam locomotive from the Commodore 64, The Last Train. Okay, I don't know what that is. Ed, Stania 4MT. I think we're just going to make people sick. Jealous. X-Series, quite like the 150. 82 Steam, GWR Manor. GoldenEye, CSX ES44 on Miami West Palm Beach. Don't know why. I think I can guess why Catbot's been a bit oversensitive on that one, but never mind. We can still see it. Simulator does, so there is no route yet on Workshop to extend Bernina Pass. There'll be a news announcement once it goes up. Or if you just keep an eye out, you'll find it probably. EC says in TS18, the rather nice blue 33-1. Lead paint, the 33 and 73 was what you were on most as a guard.
Saw a couple of Class 73s go by my house yesterday, in fact. It was just two of them running light.
Manami GP40-2. I was hoping to get some more American feedback in there. Lots of British feedback at the moment. Drop my pen. Sad now. How we doing? We are 8.7 miles to Flint.
We don't unfortunately have a 75 zone here, so a little bit slower than we were earlier.
What's my favourite American locomotive, Paramero? See, it depends on what you want to use it for. So, for passenger stuff, probably the ACS64. I do like the ACS64. For freight, I like something like a GP38 or an SD40 because they're nice general purpose locos that do lots of things, but they've got a good amount of hauling power. They can also be used for switching. Which is quite cool, so I like those. Trying to think what else. Well, the F7 is also always a big favourite of mine. It's just got that Art Deco styling, which is just a classic. Or if not the F7, then any of the F7 sort of type locos, ones that look a bit like it, like a E8 or something like that, or the FL9 that we did on the New Haven line. You know, that style of loco is really interesting. They've also got a really nice throaty sound to them as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, the SD40 is always the loco that comes to my mind when I try to think of American trains. Used to have one in N-gauge ages and ages ago.
Yeah,
it's about that long-ish.
We've got on my dad's model railway, we've got a GP40-2 in chassis livery, which we used to haul a pair of European, I think they're German freight wagons. The freight wagons have got all the track cleaning and hoovering equipment inside them,
yeah.
So we can run this American train, which is all 4-axle pickup, 4-axle drive, so nothing stops it. And we can run it round the layout, hauling these two. One got a wheel which grinds off the dirt off the track, and the one behind it's a hoover which brushes and hoovers the track as it goes. And it does a tremendous job.
Looks like we can speed up for a short while now. Got a 90 zone for less than a mile.
That seems worth it.
In fact, I don't think I'm even going to reach 90 before we're going to check speed for the 75. Probably not going to even reach 80. Well, there's 80. Time to slow down again.
Clearly, Cleve, on TS2018, on what we're driving now, you can get steam engines, absolutely. From tank engines right up to big mainline passenger locos, including the big boy in America, Tornado, Mallard, Flying Scotsman, all the big names and everything in between. Well, many things in between.
Right, 4 miles to go until we hit Flint. And then after that it's just Chester, isn't it?
Yep. YGRR 480, what is the object of this? The object of this is, so we're playing a scenario, our job is to drive the train and to complete the tasks that have been assigned, so which are, in this instance, this scenario is about driving a train down the line, stopping at all the stations, keeping to time, which means learning how to speed up and slow down the train correctly, because if you take too long to slow down the train, you'll lose time. If you try and leave it too late to brake, you'll miss the platform. And then also learning the signals. So this is a simulator rather than just a straight game, which means there's more real-world learning to do. So learning what the signals mean, learning how the train works. And if you can just give us a pan around the cab there, Luke. One thing you'll see is there's an awful lot going on inside a train cab. This is all stuff the driver needs to know how to use. And all the different controls, all the systems, multiple types of brake potentially, when to use them, what they mean, what all the lights mean, and so forth. So there's a bit to learn there. And then you're effectively driving and stopping, doing that. There's also other scenarios in the game where you might be doing freight movements, where you might be doing shunting, all sorts of different things really.
So you were saying earlier on about the timetable, you guys can see down here that timetable says that I need to be at Flint for 10:16, and at the moment it thinks I'm going to be about 20 seconds late. So need to try and speed things up a little bit.
Rebel Scholar, the controls easy to use. Yeah, pretty easy to be honest. You can use an Xbox controller to drive it on the PC, or you can use the keyboard, or you can use the mouse. But it's effectively A and D for throttle, W and S for reverse forwards and backwards, semicolon and apostrophe give you the brakes, and then there's a bunch of other keys like H for headlights and so forth. But it's pretty easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy. If you press F4, you can also get a visual HUD, so you can actually move the controls visibly on the screen at the same time. Rather than using the keys, you can just drive the HUD essentially, which is then perhaps easier to understand. YGR, do you guys use this to prep you for the real world? No. I mean, we're not train drivers, we're game developers. And this is an entertainment product rather than a professional simulation. Professional simulations tend to ship for the millions of pounds rather than £24.99 or something like that.
On the subject of we're not train drivers, I think I slowed down too soon again. So the thing is, I'm used to driving freight trains. Trains that take a very long time to stop. Put me into one of these modern passenger trains and it's like, wow, these things stop on a dime.
I think that those lights, those indicators on the left are actually lights, rock and roller, but I don't think they're set up on this train.
Stop.
Delhi T Hudson, that's just purely a regional termination. Over here they're called drivers.
Yeah, that's close enough. Overshot slightly, but I'll take that.
Is that even snowing, or is you under?
I think the snow might have stopped actually.
No, it's still going.
Snow outside. Oh, I'm under the bridge.
Yeah, you're under the bridge.
Overshot slightly, didn't I? Oh well. More points that we can squander to the speed limits.
I think there are a lot of breathtaking rides in all over America, rock and roller. Cross any of the mountain passes and just beautiful railways.
You know, you'd almost think I timed that pan around to catch that train coming the other way. Because that looked perfect, but it was just pure fluke. I had no idea that was coming.
Tactical runners, do you have emergencies and faults in the game? Some locos implement emergencies and faults. Most probably don't. You can get instances where scenarios might have the emergency brake get applied, as if someone in the passenger compartment pulled the emergency handle. But generally no. Generally any instances would be things that you've caused, like wheel slip because you've slipped too high, you've put too much power on, or some of the German locos, if you put the the electric brakes on without taking the power off, you can cause fuse faults that you then need to deal with, or may even kill the loco with. So there's a limited implementation in some cases with them, but it's not widespread.
On that subject, we've also got things like driver vigilance systems and the AWS, which you just heard beep just then.
Yes.
And if you don't respond to those in time, then it slaps on the emergency brakes.
Can you drift rock and roll? Well, I've seen people do it. It's not a normal railway operational procedure. But if you find the right bit of track and you're creative with it, apparently you can.
Alright then, 9 miles to go.
Don't forget the AWS says steam train driving can throw up lots of issues. Yes, absolutely. Again, it's down to what you create. You know, if you're right, if you do it badly. Tipped Atom, so at the moment we are in north of Wales. Well, we possibly crossed the border by now.
I think we might have crossed the border by now. Chester's in England, isn't it?
Yeah, Chester's in England. Yeah. We started out very much north of Wales.
Ooh, what are we passing here? That will probably give us a good clue. Can't read the name.
Press the 8 key and have a look.
We have just passed Shotton.
Just doesn't sound like a Welsh name.
So yeah, I think we probably have already passed the border then.
We're heading eastbound, cool guys. So we started off Llandudno Junction, we're heading east towards Chester. And then the route would normally carry on then to Crewe.
Yep, this route does have Crewe in it, but we're not going that far on this run. We are only going this far to Chester, but the route does go all the way down to Crewe, which is down here. Very busy bit of track layout going on there.
Biddle, what is the goal? Driving on time? Yes, essentially driving on time and completing all of your instructions successfully and accurately. So if you press the F1 key, you can see the list of instructions that you need to do. So at the moment we've been asked to go to Chester by 10:30 AM. The Channel Tunnel's not currently modelled in the game. No, Hawaii Killer. You can do part of High Speed 1 coming out of St Pancras down as far as Ebbsfleet on the London to Faversham line. But that's as far as the high speed goes. C-Web seems like a pretty laid back game. It is. The game is pretty chill. I mean, if you go for some of the German stuff and turn on PZB, then you might need to lean forward and pay a bit more attention to what's going on. But generally, it's the game is actually quite good because you can make it as chill as you like. To be honest, if you want to do something a little bit more active, then you can do that. Or if you want to do just a gentle run down the line, you can do that as well.
For me, the challenge is just doing it without overspeeding.
Clearly.
Because we just lost a few more points there. Whoops.
God is still within your grasp.
We'll see.
Barely, but...
I'm saying that I don't really need to speed anymore. We are apparently running slightly early. ETA says we're almost
over
2
a minute
minutes
early, yeah. Grey Fox, Train Sim 2018 is not on Xbox, but our other product, Train Sim World, which is newer but has less content, is available on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Cool guys, loving the West Somerset Railway. Excellent, glad you're enjoying it. So is it like open world, your own server? So it's a single player game, C-Web, and it's just you driving. So in scenarios, there's AI trains that are going in there, and sometimes they'll get in your way and cause other signals, so you have to slow down. Or you can do free roam, where it's literally just you, and that's it.
I had to rush out the map there to get the AWS. Why was the AWS going off there? Ah, we've got speed decrease coming up. I don't know.
Factorenza, does TS19 enhance TS18 in other ways other than the move to 64-bit? I don't actually have an answer for that. I don't think so. It's primarily about 64-bit and about the content. If there are other changes, then they will be mentioned in the release notes once the update goes out.
Bring the speed down to 50. Possibly a bit early, but never mind. There's one of those AI trains that Matt was talking about just now. Ooh, speeding. Slow down. There we go.
Yeah, everyone's excited about 64-bit, so are we. The game's been crying out for it for a long time, so it's really good to finally deliver it.
Looks like we've got a clear route into the station, green lights. Down to 30 mile an hour.
What route shows off the benefits of 64-bit the best? I'm not sure what the answer to that is. I mean, it's not really down to the route so much as scenarios that run with lots of AI, and a lot of those will come from Workshop rather than being ones that are included in the package, because all the runs that come with the package are designed to work on 32-bit systems. But people have been making Workshop content that causes problems for a long time. So I think back to scenarios you might have played in the past that have caused problems, and you'd be able to go back and give them another try. I think what might be an idea is for us to have a look and sort of see what some of that content is and point people towards it. But let us have a look at that. But yeah, have a look around Steam Workshop, Thelonious, and see what what comments people are making on there. Moggy says, train driving requires skill. I appreciate skill. So why do you hang around on my channel then, Moggy?
Yeah, we come to a stop. You'd almost feel the concentration going on there. There's a lot more concentration than I'm used to. But here we are at Chester, and that is our final
Good
stop.
question.
And we've arrived slightly early as well, so yay, timeliness bonus.
Ham and eggs. Will 64-bit help with some of the game crashes? If the game crashes because of out of memory, then it shouldn't happen anymore. If the game crashes for any other reason, then it won't make any difference to it. Then was a lot of work involved in making the 64-bit version. Yeah, there's been a busy team working on that for a while now. Damon Brethren, thank you for TSW on the PS4. Thoroughly enjoying it. Well, thank you for letting us know you're enjoying it, Damon. That's very much appreciated. Really glad you're enjoying it.
Right, 930 points. Do we think that's enough for a Glod? Let's go see.
Come on. 930 should be an easy God.
Yep.
Boom, there you go. Right then.
Just a few speeding notes, but
yeah.
Oh, God.
You've been given notes.
Just a few. So that was the North Wales coastal route, and before that we were looking at the Bernina Pass, which was released today. So go check that out. It's now on the Steam store and the Dovetail store.
Yep.
We've also got the put my teeth back in, try that one again. We're also running the Midweek Madness sale on Steam. So Train Simulator, the core package, is currently 65% off, along with a whole bunch of DLCs that's also on discount, including the Albula line. That's on 40% off right now. So if you grab that now, you'll be able to connect it up to the Bernina Pass route once the connection is released on the workshop.
Awesome news.
And let me see, Train Sim World is also part of the Midweek Madness sale on Steam. There's currently 30% off both the Standard Edition and the Deluxe Edition. So they're both on there right now. And also in the news, of course, big news that everyone's been talking about just now, the Train Simulator 2019 has been announced, the release date of October 11th. So that is coming soon. Keep your eyes out for that.
Absolutely. And then obviously we talked about Train Sim 2019 content that's coming out, which will be for American audience, Soldier Summit, including the Salt Lake City extension. There's the Rhine Railway from Mannheim to Karlsruhe, plus the Frankfurt High Speed Mannheim to Frankfurt routes, so both routes, and also the Portsmouth Direct Line from Portsmouth, including right the way up to London Waterloo. So that's three really very cool routes coming into that pack, with their extensions as well, coming into TS 2019, as Luke said there, October the 11th, and also with 64-bit. So excellent. It should be really should be an exciting time Everybody's buzzing and waiting for more news and for the release date. Now that we know when it is, October the 11th is only just around the corner.
It is. It's not that far off.
It's not
far off at all.
And then finally, Train Sim World PlayStation 4 West Somerset Railway. Those of you experiencing crashes previously with PlayStation 4 West Somerset Railway, there was a patch released today, around 2ish, which should solve that for you. If you still have any problems of any sort,
Excellent.
Obviously do let us know, but it's good to see the back of that one. Really,
Excellent news indeed.
Yes, the team worked very hard for a lot of hours to find that one and fix it, but they got there. So big credit to the team that worked on that, and hope you enjoy it, the West Somerset Railway, much more now.
Excellent. So that's all we've got time for tonight. There is not a dev stream booked for next week. The next one will be in October. So keep your eyes open on our social media channels. We will announce when the next dev stream will be. And for the time being, that's all from me, and that's all from Matt.
Lovely. Thanks very much, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.